My name is Nakan Lema Rehema. I'm coming from ADG. My name is Nakabia Rehema from ADG company. Who supply different chemicals for pesticides, fertilizers, and also to harvest. Could you please also introduce yourself? My name is Integina Chief. I'm a farmer from Agro Solutions. And we are agronomists. We grow coffee, we grow pumpkins, even maize, even bananas. Can you explain to me how your experience of buying chemicals with ETD? We usually bought chemicals from Sanja. Until our friends in Ginger Expo told us about ETG. They had good seeds and also good chemicals. We tried them and we got a lot of products, especially their products on Falcon, which we planted in the northern region in Abim districts. The district was so dry, but the harvest was good. Like 5 kilos, we could get like 2 tons. The harvest was really good. Is there any person who inspired you to use that chemical? Did you get any problem when you bought the chemical? You have not obtained any chemical, you have obtained the problem with the pumps or the sprayers that we bought. They told us they came with industrial damage, they are leaking. Also reported this problem to the office. Is there any person who you work with who is an agronomist who checks the soil, who tests the soil, which fertilizer is needed, who advises you what your soil needs? Is there any person you talk with? Also, we have some friends who come from the research center from Kawanda, even Kabanyoro, who help us. If you buy any product, how will you be confident that the chemicals you have bought are true or they are genuine or they're not? The way we have been using their products and also the goodness of their seeds, our confidence is high on the products of EDG. How do you know how to use the products and how not to use the products? When we are portraying the products, we ask the agronomists on the in the outlet in Container Village. We explain the issues of our plants, and they explain to us and they give us people who can help us how to use the chemicals on our plants. So when do you buy these chemicals? After which period do you buy chemicals? We buy every month, every last Sunday of the month. When you buy the chemicals, do you buy out of need, or you buy to store or to increase your stock? In our association of farmers, we have over 2,000 farmers. We buy to use. Some we tell them to just see from us, also learn from us, so that also they can also start using the products of EDD in the next season 2026. How do you use the chemicals of ADG and also the seeds? How do you use them? How do you buy and use them? Have you ever received any bad seeds or bad fertilizer? Have you ever experienced anything bad when you bought any of the products? For the products, the chemicals, and also the products, we have not received any report. For the time you have been buying these products, and you know the time, does the price affect you, the brand, or the packaging, does it affect you? The price started very well, like in maize, but it changed because of the way of wholesaling. The price had to increase. What inspired you to buy these things? The quality and also the explanation of the company that it has been working in different countries and is supporting farming. If you are buying something from the market, how do you know you buy at a fair price? How do you know that we shall sell it at the right price, or the price will be high? What do you base on to buy things from EDG? Because their price is always high. Because of the high quality, sometimes they forego the price. They promised us if you come to the office at Container Village and you buy in bulk, also they can give you a cut-off price. Also they can give you a discount. Is there any brand of another company which you can buy apart from EDG, which looks like EDG? Since we started using your product in March, so we chose to be the agronomist to our community, and we have not retreated. We have not retreated back. So we have not used any other brand. So we wanted to test how long can they go in their quality. So we have not just tried to buy from other suppliers. If these people they give you their products, is there any way the packaging affects you? Or the packaging has no effect on me. They always package according to the quantities. Like the circle Panda Power, we have no problem with parking, and also they can move long distances. What happens if you need things urgently? Like in during a peak season, how do you get these products? I go to the office at Container Village, then I can be helped immediately. I can reach the concerned person. How many times do you buy your products in the times of off-peak season? In the times of off-peak, I usually buy once a month. That is usually the last Sunday of the month. In the times of in the rain season, we buy twice a month. In the beginning of the month and the end. What is the challenge you face if you buy good things? What challenge do you find if you don't buy good things in the right time? What challenges do you face if you don't procure the items in the right time or get the items in the right time, yet you need to use the product? What problems do you face? You wanted the product, but you never got the product. You have never obtained this problem. When you found this problem, they were quick to respond to us. They spent 1 to 2 days. They told us to wait a bit, but it was not a lot of time of waiting. What happens when you go to the shop and you find the product which you wanted is not available? If they explain us, if they explain to us the problem and the cause, then they give us an alternative. Sometimes Panda Power. Sometimes they tell us to use espresso. How do you manage the logistics of your inputs buying? How do you manage the inputs? How do you manage the logistics of your inputs buying? We use the buses. We buy the products. We buy the products and send them by bus so that they reach the area. They reach the farms. Sometimes we use taxis. How long does it take for this bus and also taxi to reach you? It takes 1 night because we usually farm in Karamoja sub-region. How far are you willing to travel to reach inputs? How far are you willing to travel to collect inputs? For quality inputs, really, quality inputs are better than any other issue. We are 400 kilometers from Kampala, so we have to wait. So usually distance is not a problem. If the quality is maintained, the distance will not be a problem. How do you procure your items? Is it by cash or credit? We pay by cash. If you pay by cash, do you obtain products on credit? Also explain to me how you pay if you receive things on credit. I don't know exactly about those schemes because we have never used them. We come with our cash and also we prepare for the days of buying and procuring these chemicals and also refilling. If you buy from any agro dealer, do they give you on credit or not? They give me on cash if I'm buying in bulk. They give me on credit by 10%. If the product reaches, and it also depends on the quantity of the product I've bought. If you want to take things on credit, how do you want you to procure them? How do you want to pay for them? Every after harvest or in installment? How do you want to pay to clear? Because we have big places to plant and also farm. Every after harvest, like we have 200 acres. So sometimes we ask so that we can help us with that. We can pay by monthly, not to wait for the harvest. Maybe pay monthly. If they can help us according to the size of the farmer, of the farming, like for big scale farmers, it will help us really much. How do you deal if they give you things on credit and yet you have not sold them in the time of harvesting? The way we do planning and budgeting. Also, we know how much money we have spent on the products in the farm. So this is not any issue to us. So the plants which you grow, do you receive any insurance or not? So some places where there are floods and also landslides, also fire, we pray that we can get insurance because we export also to other countries. But some places which have no natural disasters, we don't usually have insurance. Which mobile app do you use? WhatsApp, Facebook, mobile transfer? I use WhatsApp, mobile transfer. If you want to buy your things, which app do you use? I use Airtel and WhatsApp to see the pictures and to see what I'm buying, and also I pay using mobile money. How do you feel if you order things through your phone app? You said you order through WhatsApp. How would you feel if you could make your orders using your phone without going to the shop to pick them? It would help since we are very far, and it has been there. They have been putting the items on the bus, and they could reach in time. If you're using a phone, to order the chemicals, do you just call or do you use WhatsApp to order your products? You call if you need something you need to analyze. You tell them to send the pictures, or you send them the pictures to confirm what you are taking or you are exchanging. If you are using WhatsApp or calling, making a call, is it beneficial or not beneficial? It is beneficial to use WhatsApp. It is really beneficial. What could make you trust an app yet you're making such important purchases? It saves time and also the response is quick. Have you ever bought any product not from our company which is not of quality, and how do you deal with it? We have ever received it and also reached the authorities and they produced their product. Also, we could get justice. Have, have you ever procured any fake or expired inputs? Yes, madam. Yeah, I've ever received and also. So how did you deal with it? Also, we could investigate the issue and also we could get a solution. Also, we could get also resolution from those people who are supplying. If you come to the shop and buy some inputs or the chemicals, if if you come to the shop and if it is not the shop attendant advises you how to plant, when to spray, when to deal with the how to deal with the plant bugs, where do you get that information if it is not the shop? Our company of farmers, we have so many researchers and also we exchange knowledge according to what is affecting us. We have experience for 6 years to 10 years, so we can easily resolve the problem. What is the biggest worry you have for the next farming season? What is the biggest worry you have for the next farming season? The cost of the inputs or the chemicals is somehow big to the farmers. Even the markets are not yet so good, so the cost is really high. Is there any way you can tell us? If you want to farm and you need chemicals, you and this person who sells to you the chemicals to help you in the marketing or in the advice or in the terms of credit services. I want you maybe to also help me in the credit service. If you can also increase my market, it could help me. Also, I can know and also be comfortable that I know where my products are going. Sometimes some people they check even the quality of the inputs that we use to farm.
Amannya agange Fetwa Tumukondanet nga ndi sales agronomist okuva mu kitongole kya ETG Uganda. Tukwebaza okubanga okkiriza okubeera omu ku
Thank you
interviews zino ze
for
tugenda okukola.
accepting to be
Amannya
part
agange
of our
Fetwa
interview.
Tumukondanet nga
My
ndi
name
sales
is
agronomist
Tumukonda Ahmed,
okuva mu kitongole kya
sales
ETG Uganda
agronomist
nga head
from
offices ziri
EDG
Namambe.
Uganda, headquarters offices are in Namambe. We are doing research about the market, about the fertilizers, about the chemicals or the farm inputs. As you make, as you produce, and also as you use or as you buy these products from the inputs like the fertilizers, like the pesticides, like the herbicides. We have to inform you that this meeting is recorded. As I've introduced myself, may you please introduce yourself to the audience. I'm by names of Kalinge Ivan. Kalinge Ivan from Sanyu Farm Supply. Also working as an agent of ETG in Kayunga district. I like this meeting and I'm so happy that this meeting has been possible. Thank you. Mr. Ivan, in this business in Kayunga, how long have you been in operation? Which business? ETG business or agriculture? About approximately 15 years. Thank you very much for those words. Also, you have experience. Can you tell us? Can you explain to us about your experience? How your day is? Like in the day of sales. How do you manage your stuff? How do you manage everything? How does your day move? We are I'm working as an individual, but also we work at the shop, also in the store. Also there are some teachers, they come to lecture us. So when we sell, also we give receipts. Some things they don't need. So we balance the store every month. So if something is taken, we make sure to give one. So when you are removing the boxes from the store, remove them from the multiples of 10 or 5 to help us to do the math easier. It helps us to easily know what has come out of the store. What we said, that is the problem. Because sometimes we mix the products from other companies So it's not easy to write as one person is coming, another customer is coming as you're writing. In your business operation, are there some challenges that you find? Is there any problem you find advising your customers or your farmers? Are there other problems you face? Also to check the stock as it is moving, how to manage the workers. Do you have any problem with that? As you work with them, are there some big problems you work with them as you work with them every day? Problems always exist. The workers are not problem, even though the money they receive is little. Sometimes they have also to do the digging. Sometimes to supplement their earnings. So the challenges are always many. Also in stock expiries. Also there are some not good. So some difficult, and also the market changes every day, every minute. Sometimes someone brings a new product. If it finds another product or an old product, and if it is a lower price, then they have to ship from that product which you have. So they try a new one which is cheaper. Also our farmers receive different trainings. Every farmer teaches different topics, and also farmers get different trainings. So they come with different ideas. Also, when you explain to them, they say this is not what they thought. Also, changing them becomes a problem. Also, our farmers, the biggest problem we have with them, they farm produce which easily is affected by harsh conditions, like tomatoes. The market changes. Sometimes usually they are having like two times to spray, and then they want to get credit. Also, we have problem with that. Sometimes I give a lot of credit and I never made any dime. I never made any money, so I had to reduce on the credit I give out. Also, another problem is bringing a new thing in the market. You have to speak about it many times. But the good thing that if this new products is high quality and people they like it, you can increase the price just like demand. Also, another problem is stock out of suppliers. So sometimes I ask for requested ordered for Falcon, but up to now, several weeks it has not yet come. This is off season, that is what is demanded, and the herbicides are less on demand now. Sometimes you open and you sell less because of those which you don't have. Which relationship do you have with your suppliers, Mr. Ivan, or the companies when you're making your orders? If you want something, how do you make your orders? Do you call the company directly and talk with the salesperson? Or after that, what happens? As I've spent some years in this work, there are so many companies we trust. Like some companies, they can project what you can sell basing on what you sold in the last season. So they sell you some things during when the season starts. Some people they don't want to know. What do they don't want to know? And sometimes they don't want to give time to learn how the products work. They show you that they know how to use them. They think we are just here to make money. We don't know how even to use them. Even though you explain the other product, they think you need just profit. They don't care about that. Do you have problem with the prices? You tell him it is 10,000 and says he has 5,000. There always those problems exist. You have to learn how to balance your market, how to play the market. Also know the status of people, how you can handle your customers. Have you ever engaged in any government activities like government projects? No, I've never. I've never engaged in any because they don't pay. That is the reason why I don't engage in their projects because they delay to pay. Also, the paperwork is a lot, and you find you spend a lot of time on them. How is your business during off season? How does it move? Always we expect that, especially in October. What you have sold is what you have sold. This season is not like the past one because people they know they are going to the festive season. They don't. So those people who you sell to are your customers. Also, you expect this. So you utilize the chances in the season. Uh, For example, the money you make daily. If you're in season, if you're making such kind of money, in season you can make 10 million. But if you say we are in off season, so what percentage do you get during off season? So I get usually 20%. 20% according to the conditions of the weather. Apart from selling to farmers, are there any services you give to the farmers? If I have time like this time, also I visit them, I also advise them. Their farms, I advise them, I guide them. Also, we have built a good relationship. Also, there are some farmers who farm the products for 5 years, some for 2 years. Also, there are some which are speedy crops. Also, they can say that, oh, you're not only the one who is gaining, also you want them to gain, also to benefit. Also, I try to look for them the market. Also, I work with locals. Also, I try to look for the best market. Those people come to buy, I don't just leave them or discard them away. But usually I do this when I'm not in the season. I usually do that in the dry season when there's no much work. Sometimes why I look for the market because some are blockers. Sometimes they ask, do you have a farmer who has this kind of product? That is when you can find for them some product. Because sometimes I always have their contacts. Is there any way how you follow up your customer? Is there any way how you keep information about your customers? And those people who have been with for years, I always have their numbers. Do you have a book or program which is designed for these people or these customers? How do you keep the information of these farmers? I don't have something different. I just keep them in my phone. I just save them on my phone. Even I have a book, but I don't usually use it. It is usually on suppliers. As you know now, we have a digital era where everything is advertised online. Have you ever started this? No, I've never started. How about WhatsApp? But through WhatsApp, that is how people connect to me and I reply their communications. But the problem is that I've not started marketing on WhatsApp. Those people who have problems with their phones who send messages on WhatsApp. Also, I can reply them on WhatsApp. But there is no digital platform or apps like Instagram, Facebook. I use them as personally, not for the job. Is there any problem you face while you are trying to reach the farmers who are deep down in the villages? If they are very far and you have any problem to reach them, sometimes I tell them to post their problems on WhatsApp. They have to take a picture of the problem using their phone, and then we talk when they are in their garden, and then we do that. So what is the problem for you to go there? Is it the distance or there is another problem? Sometimes it is because of the distance and also ability to reach. Because from here up to Kawongo, I have some farmers. People from Kampala, they reach within minutes. Yet we are in the same district. Yeah, so it means the distance is far and also the means of transport is not better. It is not as bad, but the time I take to move, it takes me 3 hours to reach. If I'm moving by car non-stop, it takes 3 hours, and then you have to come back. How do you deal with a product which is counterfeit, which does not meet the standards? Most of the times, this is where I started from, so I always know most of the products. I know most of the products. It is very difficult. It is very difficult to forge any product, fake product on me, because those tricks we have also passed through them. In case you find this issue for the new products, what if sometimes you presume that the product which you have imported is what I requested, but when I reach at your place, I find the product is new, but within 2 weeks, within months, but people start saying the product which you have given us is not working. How do you deal with that? Because both of you and me, we don't know. And who bears the loss of that product which is coming from, which is imported? I've received that problem twice. The difference is that the problem that happens is that I had not even paid for the product. Even me, I'm a farmer. Sometimes I first try out these products before investing in them. Sometimes it's not easy for me to give me something new without testing it. Most of the time that loss is for the company. Even the sales agents, we moved with them in the field and open the box which you brought. And also maybe the ones which you are bringing to sell to me, they go with you in the garden. I've tried that 2 times, and they bring their products, and I've done it 2 times. They bring it to the market, and I had to make them to return the products back. So what if sometimes you give a product to the farmer before the supplier comes back, who supplied you the product, and then the farmer comes back with a complaint. So how do you deal with a complaint of the farmer? It depends on the place. If it comes when he's hot, I just give him the sales persons of the company, and he faces them directly to confirm that I've never picked this product from a wrong shop, but from the exact shop, and they sort themselves out. But if they can understand, if the farmers understand, there's some farmers who have trust in you. Sometimes you have to reach them, they get it, and then you make a clear understanding, and then I report the issue to the company and find a way how to resolve. But if a farmer says, I don't want to listen anything, I don't know why you bought these items, just give me new things, how do you do that? Do you offer them something which is new? What if they say refund my money? Most of the time I don't refund the money. they first resolve the issue. There's sometimes the way you agree with the company in such issues. I just say first wait for the people who supply this product. But if they don't want to listen, and you tell them to extend the issues above, first go to the police. Sometimes they usually leave some samples. Some, Sometimes you go to the police or the LC and you show to them how they can apply the products, and the result is good, and so we are able to resolve such issues. So that was an issue made. Some people he was growing maize in an improper way, so he could put a lot of fertilizer, and these fertilizers could bleach the plants, and they could say that look, the maize you gave me does not grow. Why? And he says, what you gave me, I knew it. And I asked him, according to the batch I gave you, do you have some? So we are able to perform the test before the police, and they'll see, even in my place and his place, and we plant on the same day. And then we see how did they grow, and then we follow. And also at the end we realized that they had made a mistake. So they could grow the plants, the seeds with a lot of fertilizers, and they could be bleached and they could not grow. Is it possible for us, like farmers and also distributors, to have an app like the way you see Cafe Javas, like Global, to help us in the farming work? Would this app or this scheme work, or you think it won't work? If we use this product, the farmer will go on the app and check, maybe even order from there, so that he can just come and pick the product. And do you think it is possible? It is not. I think it is not possible because I've ever tried. Also, there is one CEO of Coca-Cola also tried this. So also this product item was tried by his agri. Lucola, but it never worked out. Do you have any question which you want to ask, which you want to know about? You may ask freely. On these new items or products which are in the sets, our competitor, the way he has an advantage over us. His polythene or the sacks, so he labels it maize bland. So when the farmer comes to buy, fertilizer for maize, if there is that word, he is contesting in the heart. But these things of explaining what is inside, it is the same as the other thing. It does not work. So you have to go labeling. Some I saw the labels like coffee and banana, as you did the labeling or the branding. So when the farmer sees that, is contented with that. So we have this work to do while explaining for the product. This works best. So when you are explaining, you have to answer 1,000 of questions. But if it is labeled clearly, even though it is the same, but if you add the label, that is so much different and quick. That was an advice, but do you have any other question? Also, I'm inquiring and also requesting more agronomists may reach the ground, also the farms, also the packaging. Also, I talked about the maize. Also, it is easy to duplicate the packaging. What is inside is okay, but if you see the packaging, the other person may not be contented with what is inside. I don't know if you can also speak about that so that they can change the packaging. So do you want the packaging of this sack to use a sack or cover of polythene? They may use a polythene. Like which kind of polythene? Like Advanta, the polythene which he has just used. So he has advanced from a paper bag to a polythene. It is expensive, but it helps us both. It is not easy to duplicate or counterfeit. Also, we talked about the sprayers, the sprayer pumps for the herbicides and other stuff. Also, we request that we increase the quality, like Magova sprayers, all those pumps, in terms of quality and also the price. And we shall be able to push it further, but other things are difficult. Thank you. Thank you for visiting us.